as we enjoy beautiful views of Mount Washington. Continue to hike along. Hiking through a classic Alpine Wonderland zone. Just did a exposed ridge line section in the wind, so you gotta be careful and watch your step in that section. Now we're back to more solid footing, Alpine Wonderland zone. This will be the final section, I want to say like 0.6, 0.7 miles to our turnaround spot. Eventually come to a corner where you come around and oh my gosh, it's like you can reach out and touch Three-Fingered Jack Mountain, the face of it. Even give Three-Fingered Jack a high five at some point. So I call that the money spot. It's amazing, that zone. I'm well aware it's very windy right there right now, so I gotta be mindful of that when we do get up there. But we're in the final mile ascent through this Alpine Wonderland to get to our turnaround point. It's also the highest point in the entire 24-mile loop. Makes sense, it would be the best spot to view Three-Fingered Jack. I do find this area magical. Rocky Alpine Wonderland zone, incredible trees, very alpinerific, alpine magic. The special alpine zones have just a different feel to them, an ethereal topographical profile. Stop here and look at Washington again. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. The views of Washington have opened up through the thick haze of wildfire. I'd like to see that. I think the sun is burning some of it off. And I am hiking through a truly epic and magical Alpine Wonderland. It's rocky, filled with mountain hemlocks, spruces, and pines. The Alpine Mix, the Alpine 3, so we enjoy some views of Washington. Look at that. I'm glad we can see Washington and that the haze has burned off the tip of Washington. It's very rewarding. So we're heading to the turnaround point, our final viewpoint, and then we will have completed our out 7 miles up 1,600 feet. And we get to turn around and do 7 miles back down 1,600 feet. So going back is always easier than going up as far as exertion. Ironically, I actually find going down sometimes can be harder, like on my knees and my legs. So it's a mixed bag. It's nice for energy management going down and you can fly faster, but I actually feel like I gotta concentrate harder so I don't lose my footing. So, but we are enjoying a truly epic and magical Alpine zone. Oh, this is so beautiful. I love the rocks and the small alpine trees. Definitely a classic alpine feel here. We're in the 64-foot elevation range, kind of near the very top. In fact, in a couple turns, we will be at the high point of Three-Fingered Jack. Oh, this is so beautiful. Hello there, my friend, Mount Washington. Very beautiful. I really am a sucker for these alpine areas. I really like the beauty of these areas. Something about the alpine touch. It's like this mix of certain types of trees, mostly hemlocks and spruces and pines, which are my 3 favorite, and rocks, and it's just kind of this tundra. It's beautiful. It's you definitely know you're in an alpine zone. You're at elevation. So this isn't the highest hike in the world, all things considered. do a lot of other hikes much higher than this by several thousand feet regularly, but this is the section that really has the alpine feel in this particular 24-mile loop. Most of it has more of a classic forest feel, alpine forest it may be. We are traversing the magical alpine tundra zone here on a Three Finger Jack loop. We're near the high point of the 24-mile loop, and definitely this is the section of the 24-mile loop that has the alpine feel to it. It's nice alpine tundra and rocks and volcanic sand and nice mix of pops of green, hemlocks, spruces, and some pines. The alpine mix, the alpine 3. Definitely ecological footprint and vibe I dig. Definitely my favorite vibe. I don't know what it is about alpine zones that get me, but definitely feel like I'm in a special place anytime I'm walking through an alpine zone, and this place is no different. Definitely feel it here. I don't know what it is. Maybe thousands of years of evolution. I think there's something about human beings communing with nature. I think that our relationship with nature over the history of human beings is such an integral part of our evolution that it's in us. It's like ingrained into our DNA, like on a more primal level than we even realize. That's why when we get out away from the cement jungles of the urban cities, when we get out in nature, just kind of unlocks something in your soul that feels natural. I think that's maybe part of our lizard brain, part of our evolutionary history, but I personally choose to embrace it. It's one of the reasons why I live in Central Oregon. We're getting very near the end of this section. We'll be coming around a corner to the money shot, the money spot, where you're at the highest point of the 24-mile loop, and you get, in my opinion, the best view of our mighty friend, majestic Three Finger Jack. So for this day hike from Santiam Pass, Pacific Crest Trail, that is my turnaround spot. It's about 7 miles one way, 14 miles out and back, 1,600 foot elevation gain. So I think I'm within a couple tenths, maybe a tenth of that magic turnaround spot. I'll hang out there for a minute and admire the viewpoint, and then I will turn around and descend back from whence I came. We made it to the turnaround spot. We're here, what I've been calling the money shot of the mighty Three Finger Jack. It's very windy today. Nonetheless, we're still getting a pretty epic views of the face of the mighty majestic Three Finger Jack. got to the high point. I got to my turnaround spot, to my viewpoint, to what I call the money shot. It's my own name for it. Nobody calls it that, but I think it's a good name for it. Kind of funny at the money shot. It's my favorite viewing spot of Three Finger Jack on this whole 24-mile loop, but it was so unbelievably windy. Like, that was ridiculous. I'm estimating 40 miles per hour, maybe more. I don't know. Like, I couldn't stand there without being knocked over. So that was pretty bad. I did some videos of it, but I don't even know if the audio came through because it was so windy. And then I started getting pelted with sand and little rocks. And I was like, okay, enough of this. So I decided to turn around and come back. So I got some beautiful shots of it. I don't think any audio came through, but that's okay. More important to see it than it is to hear me mumble and ramble on. So now I get to go downhill for 7 miles the entire way back. So that will be nice. Look at the incredible beauty of Mount Washington. It's an incredible panoramic zone. Definitely has a little bit of a haze from the wildfires here in Central Oregon. Just finishing a pepperoni snack. So I bring a little baggie of pepperoni sticks. My modus operandi is I do my out part of the out and back. So I'm doing a 14-mile, 1,600-foot elevation gain. The entire out part, the entire up 7 miles, I did not drink any fluid. I did not eat anything. At my halfway point, my turnaround, I just ate my pepperoni sticks, and I still haven't drank anything, but on the way back down, I will drink both of my sugar-free Powerades I brought with me. I like to backload that way so that I don't run out of fluid. I drink a ton of fluid on the drive. This Pacific Crest Trail Santiam Pass Trailhead, it's about an hour 20 from my house in Madras, also in Central Oregon. So that hour 20 drive, I typically listen to podcasts and gorge myself in fluid so that when I start the hike, I'm already kind of satiated as far as fluid goes. And then that way on the way out, you start hydrated and you start in the morning when it's chilly out. You're not really sweating, so you kind of retain your fluid. So that's my strategy. Typically on the way back, the sun gets higher in the sky, the temperature Fahrenheit notches up a few degrees, and then just through the exertion, I start getting sweaty on the way back. Then I have my trusty 2 sugar-free Powerades to drink. So that is how I roll. Also, I have a huge protein breakfast. Food and drink energy management, hydration management. And one of the cool things about this particular hike, in addition obviously being beautiful, but beyond that, just logistically, is it's one of those where the entire out is up. So the entire back is down. We're in a Alpine Wonderland zone. And as I said, we're just going to be descending down the rest of the way. Basically, we'll take this current line we're on for a little while until we come to a point, go around the ridge. Then we have a little bit more of an exposed ridgeline section. The spooky, haunting, dead white tree forest beneath us from the burnout. And then once we get through that, we'll be at the base of Three Finger Jack through Timberline Mountains. And oh my gosh, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, epic Alpine Wonderland. Once we get back to the base of Three Finger Jack, then it's just kind of forest downhill the rest of the way. So pretty straightforward.